temperature will increase. And the automatic control will try to push more cold still, nothing happened. Okay? So then somebody will complain, then the steering engineers will come and see and remove the frost. Okay? These are the integrations, okay, because the police, okay, raised the here, we made a survey, enhanced survey about the literature, about the cost of the. We found some papers they just studied the cost of the SPC. Some papers studied only the cost of the ABC, automatic control, and only few studied the combination, the cost of the combinations. And the last paper, it was in 2012 and modified in 2017. After that, we did not find any. Okay? And one of the references, yes, the references are old, right? And he did not mention what is. So, and also the method they have used and the cost combined with the parameters here and the tools are used here. And we came up, there is some deficiency in the parameters that are used. Okay? The problem is not this big area for research. Then we came up to suggest difference. First of all, the cost of sampling considering in SPC and SPC method is usually assumed linear, while it is not linear in many cases. Okay? SPC, the occurrence of assignable causes assumed to have a time failure distribution, while it is not always. Okay? The parameters of the process and the cost may be uncertain, and hence it may be better to handle via robust optimization. The sixth point, in most of the papers discussed the cost of SPCFC, the capital cost is not included in the model. There is a mathematical model. The development of the economic model that incorporates process improvement as well as disturbance and process variability is another area for exploration. Comparison between different methodologies, okay, stating the pros and cons. Also, it is not complete in the area of research. So it's better for the people who are working industrial and those who are in control, okay, to cooperate. We have graduated two master students. They did their master and we published 5 journal papers for the integration and 3 conference papers. 2 of them in this previous conference ieem. And we have 1 student now is working on the economic cost, and we reached to some results. It will be inshallah published next then. And this is, I think, the end of this talk. And you can see the paper. And if you have any question or if you have any discussion, maybe it will be late. Is it? 15 minutes finished? Okay. So I'll give the floor now for the next speaker, and I will be here until tomorrow to answer your questions, or you can see my email. Okay? So thank you all. Now we'll go to the second presenter. Let me just ask: is the second paper simulation of modeling is here? Simulation modeling? Yes, we have here one now. We have here one. What is your code name? Ashi? Ashi. Okay. The second paper will be about simulation for modeling and analysis of girl center. Semi-different. Give the floor for the. When your time comes, you will vote it, huh? Because we will take from in his paper. Huh? Yeah, okay. Okay, now Ashi will present his work, simulation for modeling analysis of birds' center, and he will will take less than 15 minutes because already we have.
So hello everyone, my name is Akshay Sobhaski. So we are going to present our work in the area of simulation for modeling and analysis of burn center. This is a joint work with IIT Bombay and Bhumi Bhabha National Institute from India. So let's proceed. So first of all, this is the outline. We will be introducing the concept of like burn centers, and some performance measures we will be discussing, and then we will proceed towards modeling inputs and outputs, and then some conclusions and evaluated scenarios. So first of all, introducing the concept. So there are a lot of burn injuries which are there common to the people, but most like serious ones are the burn injuries, because these are also like there are a lot of people around 500,000 who are actually yearly on an yearly basis getting injured, having some serious burn injuries. So there is a lot of trauma which burn patients actually face. So our focus is how to cater to these patients. So this is the a basic introduction as to why we wanted to do the search in this. So burn centers, what are these burn centers? Burn centers are specialized healthcare units which actually work towards providing services to the burn patients. And there is a concept of over triage actually. So what is over triage? Like the patients who are actually not needing the services of the burn center, but they were actually transferred to the burn center, but they were not so serious patients. So how to if we reduce those patients, then the beds will be available to the needy ones, the ones who are actually needing the requirement of the burn center. So we have focused our work on this so that beds are available to the burn patients. So the details of the studies, our objective is to see the performance of the burn center by reducing the over triage and see how the utilization coverage varies, and how if we change the number of beds at the burn center, then how the what is the optimum number of beds which we can keep at the burn center. So we have used the data of the American Burn Agency, and also like a study cohort is that the data was from 2015 to 2021. So now the background is that recent study said that around 41% of the patients are actually over triaged. Actually, these are the ones who actually didn't require the need of the burn center. So this is a serious issue, and there is also a concept, like there is a belief that we should aim for an 85% occupancy at the burn center or any healthcare unit. But is it actually relevant? Should we aim for a 85% utilization? So will that serve the purpose? So we have some conclusions regarding it. So this is a generalized flow of the burn center. You can see the patients first of all arrive at the burn center. There is an emergency department where they are primarily treated, and then they finally proceed to the burn center in case they need it. If they don't need it, they will discharge from the first facility itself. In case they proceed to the burn center, then according to the availability of the beds, they will proceed to the burn center. Otherwise, they will wait in the queue and then finally proceed to the burn center, and then finally exit after getting treated. So what are the performance measures which we are actually looking at? So performance measures basically are utilization, coverage, then average time when the patient spends in the queue and in the whole system, and also what is the length of the queue. So all are very much relevant. One thing which I would like to focus is this coverage. So coverage is actually percentage of time when at least one bed is available at the burn center. Okay, so if at least one bed is available, so we can make the bed available to the patient, upcoming patient. And utilization, as the name suggests, is percentage occupancy of the beds at the burn center. So what is the model inputs and outputs? As I already said that we have a 6-year data certified from the American Burn Agency, and this is the anonymous data of the patients, which consists of some basic information. So we actually needed only the discharge time and the arrival time of the patients at the emergency department at the burn center. So now next is based on the data, we calculate the inter-arrival times of the patients, then the emergency department service time, and burn center service time. So we did the distribution fits and found that the fits were exponential, beta, and the log normal with the following p-values and the parameter values as mentioned. So these we have used for our modeling analysis. Okay, so this is the simulation modeling approach which we have used. We have done a discrete event simulation using the software called AnyLogic. This is again the same thing as I already showed you in the flow diagram. So again, first of all, patients arrive at the emergency department. They exit from the emergency department in case it's not serious, and then they'll proceed to the burn center. There is the burn center waiting area, then there is the service area, and then finally they exit from the burn center. Okay, so this is the simulation modeling run video. This is a typical run video. from which we have taken the data. So this is just for the symbolic purpose. Here again, this is the same working diagram which we showed. This is an N-logic model window. So these are the various performance measures which I have already told you, that queue length, mean time spent in the queue, mean time spent in the system. Okay, so these are the performance measures. So this is the multiple replication. So we actually perform 5 replications to do this our modeling analysis. So these are again the output values, and again these are the five replication values which we have used in our study. Okay, so this is just for the showing purpose that what data we have used and like how we have done the modeling. So this again I told you that 5 replications we did, the data was for 5 years, and then warm up period we have taken as 10% so that we can remove any transition which is there at the initial phase of the data and the modeling. So now this, how did we validate our model, and what are the evaluated scenarios? So there were mean data values according to the data which we got from the American Burn Agency anonymous data, and now the model values we got something from the N-logic where I showed you the run window. So we saw that the percentage difference was well within 30%, which is actually and in some cases much below. So this is how we validated our model, and now there are also what scenarios did we evaluate? So we varied the beds from 1 to 20 because there is a typical 15-bed burn center which is there which is a facility at the facility, and also as I already told that there was around 40% over triage. Okay, but we have done our study in 5, like we reduced the arrivals by 5% and 10% and saw that what is the effect on the number of beds, like what should be the optimum number of beds which we should keep at the one center. So this is our plots which says that, remember I told you utilization and coverage. So we wanted to see what is the trade-off between the utilization and the coverage for 90%, 95% and 100% arrivals. Okay, so we saw that the optimum number of beds came out to be around 13, 14 and 15 as you can see over here. So it's not necessary to always keep a 15-bed burn center if we are reducing the number of arrivals. Okay, so we can save the cost and also still serve the purpose of serving the patients. Okay, so now this is the cost analysis which we have done. So typically per day cost of a single bed is around $209. Okay, at the burn center. So effective unutilized beds is actually total bed capacity minus the effective utilized beds. Okay, so and utilization I already told you, like this is the utilization for a 15-bed burn center. So effective unutilized beds will be 15 minus 11.4, so 13.6. So this is the loss which is the healthcare facility is facing per year. So this is just a base case scenario. Okay, so I will evaluate it for other scenarios as well. So this is a whole diagram as you can see over here for 100% arrivals, 95% arrivals and 90% arrivals. Okay, so this is the beds utilization. So as you can see over here, I would like to point towards this, that for 90% arrivals, for 14 beds we are getting 0.83 as the waiting time for a patient, and even for 100% arrivals, 15 beds we are getting same waiting time. So we, with 90% arrivals, even with one bed less, we are able to serve the same purpose. Okay, and that too with savings, like there is no loss. Okay, so here this will be beneficial for like burn facility, because if there is a 15 beds and for 90% arrivals, healthcare facility is actually having 27% loss, so which is not good for because there are a lot of healthcare costs which we can reduce without hampering the patients. Okay, so this is again a plots of the evaluated scenarios which shows the mean waiting time of the patients in the queue. So here we can see for 14 beds. So after 12 beds we can see when we increase the beds to 13, 14, 15, there is a significant decrease in the waiting time of the patients. Okay, so here I would like, again I am trying to point out to this thing that if there is 85% occupancy, if we are targeting that is not always good enough. Okay, because here you can see that for 85% occupancy, patient has to wait for 3 days. For 85% occupancy, patient has to wait for 4 days. So is it enough? Like if a patient is having a burn injury, we cannot let him wait for 3 or 4 days because this is a serious case. Okay, so targeting 85% occupancy is not always generic for all the healthcare facilities. This is what we are trying to show over here. So this is the conclusion which I already said, that targeting 85% bed occupancy comes at the cost of patient's waiting time. So we cannot always generalize it for all the healthcare facilities. So it's not okay for all to have 85% occupancy. We need to revisit it. And also, like keeping 14 beds and 90% arrivals is similar to 15 beds and 100%. As we said that for lesser number of arrivals, we can still serve the purpose by keeping lesser number of beds at the facility without hampering the patient service levels. Okay, so this we can focus over here. So, now regarding the future work. So now for this work, since most of the over-triaged patients were thermal burn patients, okay, like these are like the ones who are actually needing the healthcare facility 50 but not at that serious level. For the thermal patients, around 85%. But we can, there are other kinds of burns patients also, like acid burns are there, chemical burns are there, inhalation burn injuries are there, lot of burn injuries are there, but they are kind of serious. But more work can be done by taking into account other types of burn injuries also. And there are also two kinds of arrivals, like some directly arrive at the burn center, others are actually referred to the burn care facility via other medical facilities. So we can calculate arrival rates separately for both the cases, and then we can again do the modeling to arrive at a more accurate result. So that is another thing which can be carried out over here. So this was our basic work and contribution which we said. Okay, so these are some of the key references which we have used in our work. So this is all from my side. Okay, thank you very much for this.
We have time for one question, please. Yes.
So you have considered that. So please go back to second or third slide. Yes, it is.
Is it this one?
So you have considered these performance measures. So how you have gathered the data? For example, average time spent by the patient. So this is the one performance measure. So you have collected this parameter. How you have done?
Okay. So as I already told you that we had the 5-year data from the American Burn Center. Okay. So we did the distribution fits. So this is the distribution fits which we did. Okay. Like these are the p-values. We saw that these data were fitting which distribution closely.
No, I'm saying why this parameter?
Yeah. Why these parameters only?
Why?
Okay. Because these are the very generic parameters which we use in queuing theory. If you see like waiting time of the patient in the queue waiting.
There is any literature support for this?
Yeah. Like all the literatures which are related to the queuing theory focus on these parameters. Like this is waiting time of patients in the queue, waiting time of patient in the system, then length of system, length of queue. So these are the 4 key parameters which are always there in any queuing theory paper or in any queuing theory. Like these are the basics. So we have stuck to that parameter only, like waiting time in the queue, waiting time in the system, length of queue. Okay, utilization is a very generic term, like what is the percentage occupancy of the beds at the burn center. And coverage we took from this paper. Okay, the paper number 10 which we have referred over here. So I can refer you to that. So this was the concept which was there. Like coverage is actually percentage of time and at least one bed is available at the burn center. So this parameter actually helps us to understand that what is the availability of the beds at the burn center. Okay, because this is from the patient side, right? Like if utilization is very high, so it will be good for the healthcare facility. But from the patient's perspective, this coverage is very important. Like if a new patient is coming, he has to have a bed available at the burn center. Okay, if it is not available, then how will the patient get admitted? Because he's a serious patient, he's having a burn injury. So this parameter helps us to understand like what is the availability of the bed at the burn center.
Okay, so there are other criteria or performance measures?
Yeah, definitely there are many other performance measures like which we can also consider. But these are the key ones which serve the purpose for our study. So we include this, but definitely there are other performance measures which we can definitely use.
Thank you very much, sir.